Hi everyone! Welcome back. Or should I say to myself, welcome back. It's been a long time since I've sat behind the camera, but I've just been going through a lot of things in my life, and I've had a lot of discouragement from doing this and other things, but I decided that, you know what, it's something I want to do, and if one person gets benefited from this video, then they do, and it's worth it for me. So it's worth it to be sitting behind the camera talking to myself. So with that, I guess I'm just gonna jump right into what the video is on today. The topic actually is a very personal, vulnerable topic for me. I know I've briefly talked about my faith in a previous video, but today I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with it, talk about my struggles, talk about the background of it, and talk about where I am now with it. Just to kind of give you guys an update and also help anyone else who may be going through similar things to what I'm going through. A quick disclaimer though, this video is not to make anyone feel any sort of pressure. I'm not trying to force my opinion on you, nor am I trying to tell you that your lifestyle or what you're doing is wrong. I'm just trying to share my experiences and something that I go through every single day. So with that out of the way, I'm just going to get started. I grew up in a Christian family, and as amazing as that was, it was not quite the relationship I was hoping to get out of my religion and with Christ. We just went to church on Sundays, you know, we'd pray here and there, but there really was no connection or strong emotional satisfaction in the religion. It was kind of just going through the days, like brushing your teeth every day. You know, it was never anything that brought me joy or made me feel like my problems would figure out or gave me hope or any of the wonderful things that I know should come with religion. So as I got older, I kind of fell into a confusing path where I wasn't sure what I wanted. I didn't even know if being a Christian was what I wanted. And it kind of sucked. If I'm being honest, it really, really sucked not knowing what to do. And during that time is also the same time I had a lot of dark moments. Probably one of the worst phases of my life was during the time I was lost from Christ. So college came and I was still living this confused, lost life, and towards the end of the second semester a lot of change was happening with my friends and with my family and with who I was as a person, to make myself kind of figure out what was important to me and what my priorities were and what I valued in life. And the only thing that I could think of was God. It just kind of hit me one day, like, wow, the one thing I value in life is God, and the one thing that I feel like I'm the furthest away from is God. So I knew that I needed to do something. And it kind of worked out in a good way for me because I met this wonderful, wonderful girl named Julie, and her and I just started talking one day and found out that she was a Christian. My roommate is home. Hold on a second. She basically told me everything I had already known about Jesus, but just in a different way. You know, like I heard it differently. And I don't know if it was how she said it or, you know, how my mind had matured in hearing that, but I knew that I wanted that. So I went with her to a Christian organization on campus for a night, and I'm not gonna lie, I was super nervous and scared. Like, seeing so many people my age, you know, in the same town as me, with different backgrounds and ethnicities and cultures and beliefs and morals. It was just beautiful to see them all worshiping God and praising Him, and it just really like made like a connection in my brain, and it really solidified me wanting that. The problem with that was by the time I went to this group, there was only about a week left in the semester, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't have any other way to continue that beautiful worship that I had seen. During the summer, I just kind of plateaued in my faith. I didn't pursue anything. I just kind of maintained mellow, like, yep, it's something I want. I know that for sure, but one day I'll get there, I'll do it. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of hang out, wait till my moment comes. Which seems insane. I don't know why I did that, but it ended up working out in the long run because I was able to go to a church in Milwaukee. How that happened was actually kind of funny. My friend, our coworker Haley, she's my friend too, but Haley and I one day just started talking about Jesus at work, and it was beautiful, and we, talked for an hour about him. So that was a really eye-opening experience I think for her and for me to realize, like, hey, like, we're both best friends with each other, and we're both children of God. Like, we should be using that. We should put those together. And we did. She invited me to go to church with her, and I went. So after that day, I knew that was going to be my new home. I knew that was the place where I was meant to know God and grow in God and to grow with Jesus and walk with Him. And so a month passes, I join a Bible study. I start hanging out with more people from church. I start going to all the events. I start praying more. I start reading my Bible. I'm finally on this track of, wow, like, I'm going to get there one day. And the opportunity to get baptized came up. And at first, I felt like that was something I wasn't going to do. Just because I was baptized when I was a baby and I didn't really see the purpose in it, and I didn't honestly think I was ready to do that. I was really, really scared to put all of my trust in Him and give Him my control and literally let Jesus take the wheel. I was so scared to do that. One night after I'd finished praying about it, on the music that I played to help me fall asleep, Amazing Grace started playing, and I was just blown away. Like, I was honestly shocked. The next day at work, I was talking to some of my coworkers about it, and this woman comes in, and she just starts preaching to all of us. And I mentioned that I had this conflict going on and this internal struggle with myself, and she pulled me aside. Her and I prayed together, and everything she prayed about was, I get chills when I tell the story. It was literally God speaking through her to me, saying, hey, like, you're gonna do this. You don't know yet, but you're gonna do this. And she gave me a Bible verse to kind of stew over in my brain as I was trying to make the decision. And what's interesting about it is that this Bible verse is the same chapter I'm reading in my Bible study, and that I was reading at the time. So I'm going to read it to you guys, just so you kind of know what I'm talking about. It is Ephesians 1:17. I keep asking that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation so that you may know Him better. Like, are you kidding me? I read that and I was like, maybe I'm gonna do it. Maybe this is all, like, all of these things have to be God talking to me. They have to be Him telling me to do this. But I was so scared, you guys. I was so scared, you don't even know. During the talk and all of our praise and worship, everything that we did and talked about and sang about was, again, everything I was fearing. We sang about control. We sang about giving our trust in the Lord. And then the talk was about our feelings and how to differentiate them and how we often blame God for things that we shouldn't be. And it literally was like all of my doubts and frustrations and worries and fears were washed away in that moment. And so I got baptized. I got dunked. They only dunk you for about 3 seconds, but you feel like you're under the water for eternity. But it's peaceful. It isn't, like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of the water, like I'm drowning. No, it's super, super peaceful. And you just feel Jesus with you in the water at that moment. And it just makes you have so much more of an appreciation for Jesus Himself and His own baptism. Like, literally we're following in His footsteps. And I took a step to be all in with him and to make that declaration to not only the world, but to myself as well. It really was amazing. And as soon as I got out of the water, I just felt so much lighter. I felt so much more free and happy, like genuine, pure happiness that I hadn't felt in so long. And I just want to share it with everyone. And that's partially why I'm making this video too, is to just share my experience and the love and the joy that I had with it, and that can happen for you too. It doesn't have to be through baptism. That was my own journey. That was my own way of getting that, but it doesn't have to be that way for you. Thank you guys for listening to this video and watching. I know it was really dense and we went through a lot, but I really, really appreciate anyone who sat through it and listened and enjoyed the story of my journey. I'm excited to see where I go next with it. But that's it for the day. Thank you.